All right, cool. Sorry, the picture's a little grainy. It's Tom. I had a couple of bad days. And it's not ideal, to say the least. All right, I can't figure this out. Okay, is that all right? Um, what I keep coming back to is I worked on a project years back on virtualizing. They virtualize resources in data centers for IT, and we have these instructions on the PCs that can help with virtualization. To make it more efficient. Um, they can make it more. They can make it more secure. They can make it um, more robust in terms of actual access to hardware resources. But anyway, so I worked on this project. It was something we did with another company um, who had been acquired by Citrix. And in any case, it was virtual client. Basically, you have an OS on an OS that it could float around. It could be in the data center. It could be on your PC. It could be anywhere. Well, the product got created, and then it, it was a lot of complexity on the PC itself. I mean, it was, you know, for things like graphics and all of the myriad of I/O and peripheral devices are all uh, can suffer or have difficulties when you are operating in these virtual environments. And the main thing is you don't, the last thing Intel wants to do is lose the access to the hardware performance that we built in each subsequent product, because some guy who's got his virtual fucking hypervisor VM, virtual machine manager, is dumbing down everything um, to make it easier and have backward compatibility, all kinds of things, all different types of reasons. So anyway, um, the project's never, we made the announcements. We we went through a lot of technical enabling with the partner, but the products, it launched, but it never really took off, I'd say. Or at least, when I look back at it 4 or 5 years later, they were saying the product's canceled. But anyway, what's been happening is I have this very, very specific concern that um, people, they reach you are a client, um, and when you think about yourself as a client, we're virtual client. This is what we were, virtual client architecture. So if you kind of played it through in your head, you could say, oh well, I could run anywhere. I could be in this person or that person, or I could be a million places at once. But and I've seen this happen with people I work with and people I know, where they change extremely quickly, like almost like a totally different person. But anyway, what's important to me is I don't care. My feeling is this virtual client stuff. Um, it needs to be disbanded. I want to sue it. I want to get rid of it, because it's not. It doesn't. Like, my angle on it was always I was scared stuff was getting stolen from me and given to other people, and then as I made development efforts, someone else was going to make all the money, and then I get fired, and all the revenue stream goes to somebody else. And I felt this in a relationship with a new colleague I had, where like I felt like he was taking my shit, and then he was kind of gonna run with it, and he'd be like the face, but he'd get all the fucking accolades, and then next thing you know, I get fired. But in any case, it's tragic. The tragedy is that you're not you, each person, each flesh and blood being, I have felt like is so special, and I as soon as I felt like someone was just kind of treating them like little compute nodes, or just vessels that they're vehicles that we could run stuff on, and I could be whoever I wanted to be. I didn't. It really bothered me, and when I saw it in my colleagues and saw it in people I loved, it was heartbreaking. And the thing I wanted to say is like I don't know how I've done. Like I for a long time felt like I was fighting the good fight, and I was able to keep myself from being, just kind of treated as another compute node, and managed or controlled by an enterprise or a business. I was like, no, I'm fucking gonna be myself. I'm gonna have the emotions I want to have. I'm gonna have the thoughts I want to have, even if sometimes they're nuts. But I'm gonna have them, and I'm gonna fight it. And so I was drinking. I was the main thing I thought that worked was drinking. If I drank, and then if I did stuff sexually, there's two things: sex, kind of like really intense sexual moments. Felt like they would break ties, just any type of control over me. And then beer. I thought these motherfuckers are gonna be drunk. If they're trying to use me and my stuff, they're gonna fucking pay. But anyway, so, but it really hurt me. It didn't hurt. I wasn't concerned about like what was happening to me, because I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna fight, and I thought I had a good, a winning strategy on how to do it. But I, as I said, I saw it in my girlfriend, who I love so much, and who I think I've lost, Michelle. I saw it in her constantly. She'd just be changing so quick. Anyway, but so what I didn't want to do is like now I'm watching TV, and I'm like watching fucking Gold Rush, and I'm seeing people that I work with who maybe have a very popular or good energy. It seems like they're getting sprinkled into these other people that I'm watching on TV, and it's so fucking weird. And it's like it's not how we're meant to live, and how we're meant to, humans just, they're born with a certain set, God-given capability, and then they work on it and they get better, and they either fulfill it or they don't, or they exceed it, but like what I was scared about is I was pissed because I'm like, people keep taking me, and what I thought was happening is people were taking me, and then those motherfuckers could read my mind. And it was like, and so I was in such an awkward situation, but there was something maybe good about this implementation. Maybe it's the fact that I was still laughing, I was still animated, I was still dancing, I was being goofy, and I felt, I could get goosebumps, I could sing, I could cry, but I guess I don't want this to happen anymore. But what I don't want to do is be selfish. So whatever happens to me, happens to me. But there's things that are inherent that must be captured and shared and available in whatever, maybe it's totally random, like the way it's supposed to be. But these things are vital. So fear, love, sadness, loss, love, laugh, cry, patriotism. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of where you came from. Even if it's maybe it's sad, or maybe if it's even embarrassing for you. Fuck it. This is where I came from. God damn it. And it means something to me about that that this was the circumstances I was, brought into the world and raised, when I was young. My ethnic heritage, my religion, my sexual orientation, my weird situations with your family. But anyway, all that stuff is important. So, kindness, like literally being kind. You see it in older people all the time. These older people, like, they're so, like, some of them will fool you, but like the way a grandma dotes over, maybe her only grandson, or the way if a kid gets hurt, they go and comfort them, and it's like, I totally fucking didn't know how to deal with it. Like, my reaction was, oh no, panic, and it makes it worse for the kid. But anyway, you'll see people that have this soft touch. So, and I've seen Michelle have it. I saw Michelle have it one very specific time, and it was beautiful. It was with her dad, right before he died. I'm so sorry I said stuff about her dad. I'm just so fucking frustrated and lost, and I don't know what to. And it's not like everything's fucking okay. It's not okay. Okay, so anyway, so you see, so just think. There's a few things. The other thing are the things that the colors of the flag stand for the U.S. These are important. These are very important attributes that you need to have them as part of what makes, not just makes it an American, but can make up, stronger, more or less, but it's very important for the U.S. to have these in here. So it's red, hardiness, and valor. So the ability to survive under difficult circumstances. Example, Tom. Valor. This one's hard, but the willingness to believe in yourself so much that you can, in critical moments, lead yourself first and lead others, and make sacrifices that you never thought you'd be willing to make. But so the hardiness and valor, purity and innocence. This is something I'm like, I want it back. Like, when I grew up, I didn't have any clue about hierarchy or class or what it meant to go to a fucking Ivy League, but not really be from an Ivy League family. What it meant that my dad was adopted, all this fucking stuff. And the fact that, like, as I started to realize I was being treated differently, I was like, fuck you, fuck all you. I'm just the same as good as you're. None of you are any fucking better than me. I don't care what for your fucking parents went to college. I don't know how much fucking money you have. Get the fuck out of my face. And I wasn't like saying that, but I'm like, I'm not fucking gonna just be a fucking bitch and have them fucking poke fun at me and fucking read my fucking mind and give me no privacy. It was ridiculous. So anyway, as that was happening, so hardiness, valor, purity, and innocence, but I lost it. I completely lost my purity and innocence. And what would have been ideal is if the way I thought America worked, and your content and your grit, your determination, your intelligence, your ability to communicate and influence other people, these are the things that fucking got you to where you were gonna, where you eventually, what you eventually achieved in your life and in your job, in sports, whatever. But I feel like there was something else happening behind the scenes that was disproving this whole thing. That I was just this, stud soccer player. Was fortunate enough to get into Brown, but I was always a different type of person. I wasn't one of these, and maybe it's a lot of athletes this happens to. Like, you've got these hoity-toity fucking blue bloods who were raised with money, who are part of the aristocracy. But anyway, innocence. I don't want that to be the case. I want every American to be born with the dream that they can do whatever they fucking want if they put their mind to it. You know, and obviously some people are smarter than others, but who fuck? I mean, everyone can have a good life. Everyone can be happy. You know, obviously there's mental illness and stuff that, you know, and war but anyway, I just that's important. So purity and innocence, playing that, and then blue. Perseverance. Back to hardiness. Perseverance and hardiness. Those two, they belong, you know, in the same chapter. Perseverance and vigilance. So, I don't know why this one was so. I think it was like, be vigilant in terms of the way we've defined the country and the Bill of Rights and the separation of powers and checks and balances. Be vigilant about that, and be vigilant to protect your own and to protect the rights and the freedoms and the country itself. And then justice, perseverance, vigilance, and justice. You wanna know why cops wear fucking blue? You know, those three are pretty they speak to the true nature of what a cop needs to be interested in be driving for. But anyway, so those are all important. And a sense of right and wrong. Justice is kind of a sense of right and wrong, the scales of justice. But it's kindness, compassion for your fellow man, something that, like a hummingbird in your heart, something that lets you, you know, when you're feeling down, it gives you the ability to kind of just be happy, you know, with the simplest things. Maybe it's a pet, maybe it's watching your favorite TV show, maybe it's fucking sleeping in on Saturday and Sunday or wherever. But there's that hummingbird in your heart, and it's not the beating that's the fast beating, it's the elevation and and hummingbirds. I know a lot about hummingbirds. They're not exactly what I'm trying to. Maybe it's not the right analogy, but because they move very quickly, like dart. Like I don't want to dart. I want to levitate, like a maglev train. The superconductor for your heart that allows you to float over. You know. Anyway, it's a little. These are dumb analogies, but anyway, so that's important. And I want you to fucking give it to everyone. You can't say no, because they can fight that off, right? If they don't want to be happy, they can push it down, tamp it down. But I want them to have the capacity to, when something strikes them as good, or beautiful, or tragic, not tragic, but it gives them the ability to like feel good and smile and laugh. I'm not saying that people don't have that, but I'm saying I noticed a lot recently where there was less laughter, there was less kind of levity. I mean, maybe, you know, times are difficult, you know, we shouldn't have those. You know, there should be less of it, but fuck it. If you don't tell me what the problems are and you're just going to be Humpty Dumpty, you know, or kind of frumpy all the time, and then expect me to be frumpy because I don't know what the fuck's going on, fuck that. There were some other things from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty. Yeah, I don't know. Just there's probably people that are, you know, a lot more into psychology that could rattle off, you know, more emotions that are important. But like it's sad. The happiest times I've had with Michelle are when we're just laying together, not talking, not interacting. She's like, "Come snuggle me." I don't know if at the time I'm worried something's happening now. You're taking something from me, or vice versa. But it's just that the human contact. And there's no edge. I mean, when people are sleeping and just resting, there's no edge. You're not debating anything. But anyway, so my feeling was, I want to get rid of this virtual crap for humans. If it's happening, totally dismantle it. I don't care what fucking type of infrastructure's been set up to do it. I don't care if it's for fucking sex. I don't care if it's for fucking big business. I don't care if it's for the fucking government. It's gotta die. And if it was gonna hurt me, like if it had an impact on me, I was okay with it. But what I wanted to be damn sure of is that, one, they are actually making changes and not just fucking getting rid of me and going, "Oh, yeah, we did it, woo, got me folks, tricked them again." No, one, that they're doing the right thing with respect to keeping the sanctity of the human spirit and the uniqueness of the human spirit and protecting it with vigilance. But I feel like you have to get rid of this virtual crap to do that. And then I didn't want to lose what some of these emotions and these key elements that have to be as part of the recipe. Maybe some people get maybe very little of one or a bunch of another, but don't fucking leave these things out. Like fucking crying, god damn, if in the hidden connection you get with people. Like, if you have a very powerful thought about your what's between some strong feeling about right and wrong, or some strong feeling about your country, or anything, and you get goosebumps, and not like I'll say it here, and it's a little it's not very tactful, but one way men can get goosebumps is peeing. When you pee, you get goosebumps. This is not the type of goosebumps I'm talking about. I'm talking about ones where like you literally feel like, man, that was powerful. It was maybe a thought. It was maybe a connection you had with somebody that you loved. It may have been you feel like what you're thinking and feeling is so right that others are dancing on your skin. Like they're just having a little fucking field day all over your skin, and it's these goosebumps. But anyway, I always felt I had this power because I was this nobody. There's nobody who didn't really understand what was going on. I always had a strong voice in what should be done. And I wanted to say that client virtualization has to human, it has to stop. Humans aren't an architecture. The bits and pieces of a car or computer are not what make you human, and don't define how you'll fare. And for me, it's like, stop thinking that way. Okay, so I feel strong. That is not going to happen anymore. This will not be the way we interact between other. It's not going to be the way we manage resources in enterprises and businesses. It's not, and I will not accept that it's happening to me. I will. But anyway, so I just I wanted to say that. I wanted to get out some of those points on key emotions, or you want to have as part of the the snowflake factory. Like, you just have snowflakes come out, and they're all unique. But keep in mind some of these concepts I just mentioned. For Michelle, I'm very sorry. I mean, you're basically done with me, so it's like it's probably easy to be you. I don't want to say that. I think it's very easy for me to look like the bad guy in some of the comments and some of the behaviors that I've exhibited, which at this point, behavior is important, and treating other people with respect is important, but I will not accept things happening to me and then they just, or being set up for something, when people are in this mindset where you're struggling with the world around you and what you're seeing as injustice, there's a little bit of baiting that can happen, a lot of baiting. They can bait you into saying something that's considered aggressive. They can bait you into taking a stance that's going to alienate some very, very powerful and important people. This whole thing about this guy Brian Yates, I swear I was baited into it. It was a fucking plant. She left the card. I picked it up. She blows me off. Probably, I don't know. She's off running around with this guy. I don't really, it's neither here nor there. But it was going to put me in a position where I was eventually going to say something. And if she told me what was going on, if she'd asked for me for help, the only relationship I really sort of understood was with Cody, and he and I never had, we weren't best buddies, but I wasn't harassing him or sending emails to the cops about him. I mean, we were just, I became more and more concerned that he had stolen stuff from me, or he'd been given stuff from me. So they take, this mindset, maybe this sexuality I had, and they just throw it in another body, and then I'm left out, and I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, and kind of discarded. But anyway, I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm sorry to your family. I'm hoping I'm not right about your dad in terms of what happened to him. He kept telling me I had a tumor. I said, I don't have a fucking tumor. And he kept saying it very emphatically, because in this world, you start thinking things, shit happens. I fucking told her when I saw her dad, I said, your dad's gonna die. You gotta put him in the hospital. Because if you're gonna, one of these days, you're gonna come home and he's gonna be dead. But something's so fucking wrong. He'd sit in a fucking chair for fucking an hour, 2 hours, trying to get up. They're trying to figure out, what am I, he'd go over and turn something on with the TV. And he'd literally be on a bench in front of the TV, there for fucking 2 hours. And I'd ask him, do you need help? Maybe not 2, maybe definitely an hour. I said, do you need help getting up? Eventually, anyway, I just get concerned about you know, when she's saying stuff like that, I have a tumor. It scared me. Not because I have one, because I know I don't have one, and I don't like being told like these very specific things that are happening to me. You have a tumor. Fuck you. No, I don't have a fucking tumor, and your fucking dog's evil. But I just, yeah, her dog flat out fucking evil. It's either he's somebody that he represents somebody that means a lot to her, or maybe is what someone she wants. But that fucking dog. And I still have this connection with him. Like, I care about him. But I literally, he needs to be in a cage. He needs to be kept away from humans until somebody determines, you know, like, harnesses are supposed to fucking stop this shit, but like his is not working.